Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
Good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great day so far. Last Wednesday, we aired our Safe in the Storm weather special courtesy of Storm Team 8, and joining us as he does every Tuesday to talk a little bit more about some of the elements in that is Storm Team meteorologist Blake Carms. Blake, thank you so much for joining us today once again.
Thank you, Phil. Good to be here.
Yeah, no, as always, pleasure having you here. We love talking to you, especially in regards to something that could save a lot of lives, really. I mean, that weather special was so informative, got a lot of great information. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking a lot more about those individual stories that each meteorologist did. So today I thought, why not start with yours? And yours really revolved around the National Weather Service and how they decide when and where to issue warnings and watches for severe weather. Blake, if you could just kind of walk us through that, what really went into the making of that story?
Yeah, Phil, so it's something I've always been kind of curious about. As meteorologists, we love to see the behind-the-scenes stuff of our other entities. So we work very closely with the National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids. They're the ones who issue all the watches, the warnings, and the advisories, and we rely on them for a lot of good weather knowledge, and they're very helpful. And in return, they rely on us to get their messaging out. So it's a very collaborative partnership. And so what we did, I was curious, what exactly goes into issuing watches and warnings, especially during times of busy, severe weather? So we took a visit to the National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids out by the airport, visited with meteorologist Bob Dukeshire, who's been there for 30 years now, almost 30 years, and kind of got a behind-the-scenes look as to what exactly happens, what their structure is in the building during times of severe weather, who they collaborate with, and just how quickly can they get out those warnings when they need to. And we found a lot of good information in there that I think helps us as meteorologists and hopefully helps the public understand what all goes into it as well.
Right, and you're surrounded by Storm Team 8 all the time, really seeing how they work, and that obviously in turn helps you become a meteorologist. But what was it like seeing these other meteorologists, the ones that aren't on TV? You mentioned Bob Dukeshire, who's been there for 30 years, and just kind of the experience he has. What was it like kind of learning from them?
Yeah, so, it's funny, Bob and I, we've actually had a few phone calls. I called him the week of the blizzard, the week before the Christmas blizzard, just to kind of make sure I was seeing everything right, and he's like, man, it's going to be a big storm. And so it's neat to have that collaboration because, again, we're all there to help each other out. And so it was interesting to hear from him, about the software that they use to issue those warnings. It's called WarnGen, which is created in-house. One thing that people sometimes forget is that the National Weather Service is a branch of the federal government. Our taxpayers pay for the National Weather Service. And so through that, they have a lot of a responsibility to the public to keep us safe. And so they have software that allows them to get a warning out within about 30 seconds of them deciding they need to issue it. They just draw the box and then decide which counties to leave out and put in, and then they issue the warning just like that. So, as meteorologists, we never get to be there during active weather because we have to be doing our own thing here. So it was neat to go there and see what their process looks like when they are busy. Kind of gives us a better understanding of what they're dealing with during times of busy weather.
Right, and the main topic of your specific story in the weather special was how and why they decide to issue these watches and warnings. If you wouldn't mind just kind of, recapping the story a little bit, what sort of goes into that process of we're going to issue a warning here in Kent County, say, or we're going to issue a watch here in Kalamazoo. What sort of determines those type of categories for the National Weather Service?
Yeah, so what comes before, the severe thunderstorms are actually on our doorstep is typically severe thunderstorm or tornado watch. So those are actually issued by the Storm Prediction Center all the way down in Norman, Oklahoma at the National Severe Storms Laboratory. And so they are the ones who coordinate all the watches. So let's say they're about to put out a watch for southern Michigan and northern Indiana. They will call the offices in Grand Rapids, Detroit, northern Indiana to say, hey, we're thinking about doing a watch in this area. And then they'll end up putting out the watch. The warning is assembled in-house. So they have a radar team that's always watching, and then they'll issue those warnings as need be as the storms roll in. And as soon as the radar team decides it's worthy of a warning, again, that's when they use that WarnGen software and are able to quickly put out an alert and get it to the public.
Right now, and of course I do recommend everybody going and checking out Blake's story over on our website, woodtv.com. You can find the full special there as well. Blake, before we go, you had a pretty busy day today. Really quickly though, tell us what people can expect to see in the 7.
Yeah, that's right. Coming up tonight at News 8 at 7, took a trip to Middleville. 2 weeks ago they had a severe hailstorm, and a lot of folks need roofs, siding, and cars replaced. So we spoke to some homeowners and some insurance companies, roofers down there, and we'll have a lot more on that coming up at 7.
No, definitely can't wait to see it. Again, that is coming up at 7. Blake, as always, thank you so much for coming on the live desk today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Phil.
And I want to remind everybody to go ahead and check out that weather special. The Storm teammate did a fantastic job putting that all together. You can see it in its entirety, or you can check out those stories individually. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.